Morning, y'all. I'm sorry, but the sun is back, and I'm driving east. Which makes me kind of laugh and think, are you one of those people, women especially, let's tell it like it is, who have trouble with directions? Not getting lost, but knowing east from west, and knowing that the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So around 4 o'clock every day, you should be able to tell which way is north based on that. I'm curious. How many of you speak up, tell the truth? Are you guys challenged by your directions, or do you know that if you're driving into the sun in the morning, you're driving east? If you're driving into the sun after work, you are driving west. There's your fun fact, I guess, for the day. I find a lot of women are like, oh, don't ever tell me go north or go south. I'm like, okay, but I think you can do this. Just try a little harder. So my hair's looking a little extra flat today. Another fun question I wanted to ask you guys. I am getting my hair done today at 12:45. Got to get beautified, and I am not that girl that's going to wash her hair and do it and then go get it done at 12:45. But I know some of you are, and I want to know. I kind of correlate that with the people that want to really clean the house up before the housekeeper comes so she doesn't see it looking a mess. So curious to hear how many of you get up and wash your hair and fix it on the day you're going to go get your hair done. Well, like I say, that girl is not me, therefore the hair is kind of flat because 12:45, try to do something with all this. Isn't this weird? It's like you can see my eyes, but the bottom half, since I'm driving east into the sun, is just completely gone. Sorry about this remnants of a cold, it's almost gone. But back to the point at hand, which is, what can you do to take all the power away from the thing that is holding you back? And it's really a two-part thing. I always talk about how our biggest problem is worrying about what other people think, right? So this, I think, ties very much into that. We will hold back and not do the things we want to do in life because we're worried about what someone else is going to think about us. And in reality, the truth is, people are not going to think about you very much at all. People mostly thinking about themselves. They're thinking about what are they doing that people are worried about, and that's the reality of what's going on. They really don't care. Now, if you attain a certain level, I guess, of success of what you're doing, more people are going to care. Some in a good way and lots in a bad way. It could go either way on that one. So more people are going to start looking, but that's okay too. Because there's one currency in the world we're living in. What's that currency? I'm failing my job. If you guys don't know by now what I'm going to be saying, at least my opinion of the currency of this century, really of all time, is attention. Gary Vee jokes around and says, man, back in the day, smoke signals were attention. Everything is about getting attention, because to sell your product, to help your charity, whatever you're doing, if eyeballs aren't looking and ears aren't listening, then you're not going to know. Please speak English. That's hilarious. I don't know what that means. But I guess I'm speaking Southern English, Marat, so sorry about that. But yeah, so it's one of those things where attention is the currency of the day. So if you are too afraid to put yourself out there because of what people think, then you're not going to be able to garner attention, which I think the word attention gets a bad rap because growing up we'd hear like attention hog, wouldn't we? Or you're just trying to get attention. Well, again, for the most noble causes, if you're raising money for St. Jude's, you better be getting attention. Or if eyeballs and ears aren't on you, then you can't help anyone, including the most noble of causes. So attention is the currency. But we're afraid to get the attention because we're afraid of what other people will think. And most importantly, the reason we're afraid of that is we're afraid we might fail. We're afraid we might fail. So the fear of failure, of putting something out to the universe and maybe it doesn't happen. That's why we don't do it. We're scared of that. So here's what I say about that. The way to diffuse that is to say openly and honestly, it may not happen. This is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it everything I've got. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. For example, we posted that we intend to expand into Kerrville. We want our real estate team to move into the Kerrville market. It's only 20 miles away. It's a wonderful area. We've already got some cross-selling between agents, and it's the next logical step. I know a lot of people would not put that out there because they thought, what if it doesn't happen? Well, the way you diffuse that is you say, it may not happen. Will the world end if it doesn't happen? Absolutely not. Will the world be better for me if it does? I think so. I started to say absolutely, but I think it will be better. We shall find out, won't we? But that's how you take it away. Gary Vee gave a wonderful example of this the other day on his show. One of his guests actually did. Hello? Yes, a large unsweet tea, please.
A large Coke?
Large unsweet tea.
108, second window.
Okay. And he made a great point. He said he wanted to do, I think it was called ClarityCon. And he was putting on this conference. And he said the way we avoided this is you go out there and you say, it's going to be $1,000 to attend this conference. And whether we have 3 people and we hold this conference in a conference in a Dunkin' Donuts, or whether we're in Buffalo Bills Stadium, either way, the conference is going on. And as Gary says, you've taken away all the expectation. So if there's 2 people, if there's 1 person who is signed up and you're in Dunkin' Donuts, you're having the conference. And that's the way we look at it. If we end up with an office of 20 agents by the end of next year in Kerrville, that'll be amazing. If we have 2 agents in Kerrville, that'll be amazing. If we don't end up in Kerrville at all because we're not meant to, that'll be less than amazing, but it'll still be okay, right? So you just put it out there. I can't control the outcome. And we're so worried that we can't control the outcome. We can't guarantee success. So we're afraid people think, oh, you said you were going to do that and you didn't. Yeah, and everybody cares for about half a second. If that, right? We're really kind of flattering ourselves to think people care for half a second. So all I'm saying is put out there into the universe what you want, diffuse it. Same thing with your greatest fear. What is it that you're afraid of being having exposed? What is it that keeps you from being happy? The more you put that out there and just say this is a struggle, it loses all of its power. The weight just absolutely leaves you. And the more you just don't care and you try to assume the best of everybody at all times, and you give some grace, man. I give grace all the time because I think who among us hasn't said a thing or two they wish they hadn't? Hello. Thank you. Who among us hasn't done something they wish they haven't? We all have, right? Thank you. So give grace very freely, because goodness knows the good Lord has given us more grace than we will ever be able to bestow on anyone else. Assume the best until you just can't do it any longer, till you can't overlook it anymore to your own peril or those that you love, and put out there what it is that you're afraid of. And you'll be surprised, it's going to lose its power. Put out there that this is what you want to do, and it may or may not succeed. And suddenly, if it doesn't succeed, the world's not going to end. Because guess what? The world was never going to end anyway. But certainly not now. Now, I need your help. I was considering starting it this morning, but I really wanted to talk to you guys about what we've talked about today. I thought it was an important one. But number 2, I am considering doing a little 4 or 5 part series on kind of my life story. Not just, anecdotes of craziness, even though I think my whole life could be a book, but just my life story, because I think it's interesting to know whether someone is a speaker, whether they are an entrepreneur. You need to know where their business has come from, what they've done, what they've accomplished, where they fail, where they continue to fail. I tell y'all every day, I have not arrived. I do not ever mean to imply that I have arrived. People have been telling me for years, oh, everything you do works out so well. And I'm like, check back in 50 years and we all cash out and we'll see how it worked out. Did it work out cash positive? And more importantly, did I live a happy life? Do I have people in my life I love? That's when we will go back and decide if it was all success. I've not arrived. Anything can happen. We live in a volatile world, but living in the moment and sharing every positive joy, for me, is what it's all about. We have a new website coming live in January, and I mean it's exciting, but it's a struggle because we are basically footing all the bills to create a new business right now with zero income from that business. That's not fun. That's a challenge. That's a struggle, and it's a very real thing. We're doing that because we know the business is going to be amazing as a standalone entity, and it's also going to bring tremendous opportunity to our already existing businesses. It should funnel a tremendous amount of traffic to Absolute Charm Real Estate Group and to Absolute Charm B&B Reservation Service, without a doubt. But it's also going to provide independent, incredible value. But right now, we are paying for that business before the business starts and brings in its first ticket. So those of you who think, oh yeah, easy for you to say because you've made it. I have not made it. I am working every day to make it, and I will keep doing that until the day that I die, Lord willing. Love that, I don't think it's Vern Gosdin, I've stopped and think, song where he's talking to that old gentleman at the bar, and he says, there's the, at least we've had our chances and we're still in the game. It's my favorite line. Every day, anytime I have a struggle, I think, you know what? I'm still in the game. I am not out. So if you are in the game today, say a prayer to your Heavenly Father and thank Him for the opportunity to draw a breath, to be alive, to have ever been born, and the fact that you're still in the game. Now, beyond that, you better speak up, or just know that I'm going to be talking about my life story for a while, so y'all may not want to hear that. We leave for our Christmas trip next Thursday. So that would give me Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to make a start on it before we go on our Christmas trip to Sweden. I'm really hoping we get some good internet over there, because how great would it be to do the walk from Sweden? I don't know, do the hangout in the kitchen, do the family time. I don't know what we'll call it, but we'll do something if I'm able to get some time over there. Of course, I'll have to look at what time of day everything is, and but won't that be a hoot? So let me know what you guys want to hear about. If you think that's going to bring value to you, then that's kind of what I'm planning to do. If I don't hear, I'm going to plow ahead and do it anyway. If you don't like the idea, tell me, and I might or might not listen, depending on, make some good arguments here for me. And then let me know what you're doing for Christmas, because this is a two-way conversation. I'm excited to see what some of you are getting to stay here in the Berg, and not many better places to be in the world at Christmas than Fredericksburg, Texas. I love this town. But we're going to be in Stockholm on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We will be in Lapland, Finland on New Year's Eve. We're going to wake up New Year's Day in the Snow Hotel. If we get Wi-Fi there, how amazing will that be? I'm really looking forward to sharing our travel journey with you guys. And don't forget, one of my subcategories on my website, TammyPack.com, is Tammy Pack Travels. So I'm looking forward to fleshing that out in 2019. Thank y'all for joining me. You give me lots of encouragement and love, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And Lord willing, talk to you tomorrow.